Yeah. Hey, everybody, welcome in, and may the 4th be with you all tonight. As you can see, I've got Cloud City, Bespin behind me. It's not a great virtual background. As you can see, it's kind of wonky, but hey, it works. I got on my Dadalorian shirt here, bounty hunter, child expert. Yeah, that's the life. But without any further ado, let me go ahead and bring my co-hosts to the stage, who I know have a lot to share with us this week. So first up, Mr. Azkhalon is
Hello.
Welcome in, Azkhalon, and let's get Jason.
Woo!
Jason,
what's up, guys?
Love the energy.
Yes,
welcome in. We are so excited to see you guys. Thank y'all so much for popping in the chat and saying hey. You know, we appreciate all of y'all here. Wanted to say to start with up front, you know, we appreciate you guys that showed up last week for the Nerd Herd Live during our fundraiser. And for those of you that donated to Helping Hands for Cruising and Dreams in Motion, the whole thing all weekend, I know that they raised over $4,600 for the weekend. So
that's awesome.
that is right there at kind of what they need for putting somebody on a ship, you know, pay for the full thing. So that is absolutely fantastic. And tonight I talked to Azkhalon about this before we went on tonight. So I don't know if it's working. So I'm going to need somebody to check. Maybe y'all can check. I don't know what, maybe it is. Who knows? We'll see. But I am streaming this to Instagram tonight and not Facebook. So I'm trying to see if Instagram will work simply because there are more people that follow us on Instagram and interact with us on Instagram that do on Facebook. So that's the hope. So if you got Instagram, please check it out and see, you know, if it's on there. And then I do know for a fact that if you comment on Instagram, it's not going to go live on our feed. So I won't be able to click on it and it won't show up here. But I will be checking my Instagram throughout and I can respond to you there. And if you have questions or anything like that on Instagram, you know, feel free to write about it and I'll interject and stuff like that. Okay, Liz says we're on Instagram. So all right. Yeah. So that's a big W. So hopefully we'll have some new folks join in there. Thank you to everybody that comes in. I want to start tonight by giving Azkhalon the floor for a little bit because of everything with Jason's awesome visit to Epic Universe last week and us doing the fundraiser. Really didn't give Azkhalon a whole lot of time to talk about his incredible track accolades. So I want to give him a minute to be able to talk about what happened last weekend and then what happened this weekend.
All right. So last weekend we had sectionals and we had 25 athletes qualify for state. We took 32 last year, so a little less than last year, but we still had quite a bit. So that was really awesome. Our boys placed first in sectionals as a team for the second year in a row. So we had a 2-peat. So we're hoping for a 3-peat next year. And we're hoping the girls can get them a trophy next year. I think they finished 4th in sectionals this year. There's just one school in our section. Their girls are really good. And they're typically really good every year. So we got some work to do for next year. But state was this past weekend. I just got back in last night. I got home around 10 p.m. It's down south at the beach in Gulf Shores, Alabama. And I had a really good time. We had 3 podium finishes. We had a state champion in the boys 3,200 meter run. This is his 4th state championship this year. He completed the running trifecta. He won cross country state, and then he won the 1,600 and the 3,200 in indoor track. And now he's got the 3,200. He had the 1,600. He was neck and neck with another kid. And the last 10 meters of the 1,600, he failed. And he ended up finishing 4th. But he bounced back the next day. And I knew what the type of athlete that he is. I knew he was going to use that as some fuel to light a competitive fire the next day. And he did it. He went out and got the 3,200. Beat the same kid that won first in the 1,600. He beat him in the 3,200. And so that was really awesome. He's an Auburn commit. So he'll be going to Auburn, running cross country and track. So I'm really proud of him. And then we had 2 third-place finishes, one in girls long jump. One of my girls, she broke the school record again, her own record at state with long jump. And then we had a boys triple jumper finished 3rd as well. So our jumps did pretty good down there. He also broke his own school record. He jumped over 46 feet. And he's just a junior, so I'm excited for him to come back next year. But the other 2, the state champion and the girl, they're both seniors, so it was a good way for them to go out, with their high school career. So I'm excited to see what they do at the next level. So yeah, so my eventful state weekend. I'm so tired. I slept until almost 11 o'clock, y'all. That's rare for me, even on the weekends. I'm normally up by 7, 8 at the latest, so I was tired.
That is fantastic. Azkhalon, of course, was texting Jason and I throughout it all, which was awesome to see, and incredible to hear how they did, which is really, really, really cool. I mean, that's the way you want to go out as a coach for sure. One thing that I love to always joke about in my decade of coaching the swim team at my current high school, I never had anybody make state. And that was kind of the ongoing joke. We were such a good team. We had a lot of great swimmers, and we compete in every single meet, and we won a few meets. But I never had anybody swim fast enough to go to state. The only school in the county that had never had a state swimmer go to school. And I stepped down, retired from coaching. And the very next year, we had a kid qualify to go to state in multiple different events.
And I did your photography, and you left, and then we get state guy.
Right?
Get a state.
That's the way it works. But that is so cool. So does that mean are you done with coaching for the rest of this year, or are you already starting stuff for the fall?
So technically, yeah. So I think I've mentioned before. So I'm giving up football starting this year.
Good.
So I will have my falls free. I can't give up track yet. I'm still enjoying track. So this week we got tryouts for next year for 3 days. So there'll be 3 more days, afternoons after school spent. And then we got our track banquet the following week, and then we're completely done. So we'll do summer workouts though over the summer. And so I've been kind of lacking on the content recently, but that's going to change soon. So a lot of content coming from me.
Hey, if y'all haven't watched Azkhalon's latest that he put out about basically going through the Universal Studios Hollywood world in Minecraft, you need to watch that. That makes for a very, very good hour or so of programming. I watched it. Ty went back and watched it by himself. It was going to be really, really good. And as you can see, I had to get rid of the virtual background. I'm
so glad you did that.
It was getting on my nerves. Like
you had all these little clouds around your head.
Yeah.
I know it was Cloud City, but those weren't the right little clouds I was hoping for there. So that was relatively annoying. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Everybody that's here. I know we've had several more folks come in. During that, I saw Najuma Brown popped in. I saw Danny D. I saw Chris. G-Dad is here. Look out. So, beware, everybody. I had no idea what G-Dad's going to say last week. He just lurked and didn't comment. But whenever G-Dad's here, something might get said. Yep, just beware. I don't have a virtual background. So you're just citing. Just very, very short there.
I saw her again, I thought.
Yeah, well, she may walk back and forth. We'll see. It's that time of night where we're getting close to the boys needing to start that downtime, getting ready for bed, because this week, as crazy as it is for us as teachers, it's still crazy for them, because Ty is finally at the grade where they start milestone testing. So he had that last week and has one more day this week. I think it's Thursday. And then Chad has math milestones tomorrow, and he's done. But he's also now at the point where he's taking Spanish. So he has a Spanish final since it's a high school course. So he's got
I've got a question for you guys.
All right.
Why do we shove 10 pounds of crap into a 5-pound bag at the end of the year? Every year, it never fails as teachers. We load up the last 2 weeks and it's like everything, bam, bam, bam. And it's like, it causes mayhem.
Right.
Seriously, it really does. Like, why do we have to have everything at the end? Like, we're doing field day. We're doing yearbook day. We're doing big celebration of PBIS. We're doing all of these things. And it's like, come on, do we have to do it all? And we're still testing and we're makeup.
Yeah.
We've got something. I mean, we've got,
it's too much. It's just,
we don't even get field day anymore at high school. We've got, this week is senior week. So every day there's some different crazy senior.
Yeah, our senior week was this past week.
AP testing starts tomorrow, and that's international. So I know Azkhalon, I know y'all are dealing with that. We're dealing with APs. EOCs have been going on since last Wednesday. They'll continue through the rest of this week.
Final exams coming up.
Yep. We'll have the seniors.
Have you heard the latest, Zach? Have you heard the latest about like next year and the computers that our counties, and probably you too, is that every kid is going to get a computer, even if they sign up for it or not. If they break, they're going to fix them in county, and it's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare.
So the school system I used to be in, they have them. So Dixie is still in that school system. So yeah, every student has one, and you run into issues with, like, on test days, like when they do ACT and stuff, the kids will come in and they're not charged and various things.
Yeah.
My school system is different. At least my school, we have Chromebook carts in our classroom. And so I'm in charge of, making sure they're all charged and stuff. And there's a little bug around in here. So I like that a lot better, coming from a system that was 1-to-1, where every kid had a Chromebook. I like having the cart better. Because again, I'll make sure, go back behind them, because the kids, they're not going to plug them in when they put them back, and they put them back in the wrong slots. Yeah. But at least, I can make sure they're completely charged for days that we need them and stuff like that. So I like that a little bit better.
I mean, we'll find out. I do. I mean, I know our middle schoolers and our high schoolers already have their own that they're taking home with them and having to keep up with. But I mean, I do know there's some that opt out because the parents don't want to have to deal with the headache. But I do think that'll be a bigger headache for our technology staff that are already kind of overwhelmed because there's only one per school, and they may start roping us that are a little technology savvy into helping out. So I could see that being an issue. But
they better tell them, come with the money.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit more.
Something we don't have. Before we move on, I left Kevin Tuber Chat here, his channel up on the screen for you guys.
Tuber Chat,
because I don't know if you guys are familiar with what Kevin does, or for those of y'all in the chat that don't. Kevin is all about helping small channels. He spotlights small channels.
That's awesome.
And he holds a few times a week these like connect and grow lives on his channel, where you just go into the chat and it's a bunch of small YouTubers, and he'll highlight them during the and talk about their channel during the live itself. He'll talk about what you need to do to grow. He'll talk about what you need to do to connect to other people in the community. It is fantastic. Yeah, awesome. I've met so many wonderful young new creators, or not necessarily just young, but new creators, that are growing, that are about our size, or maybe even bigger in some cases. So if you haven't checked out Tuber Chat, I cannot recommend that enough to you guys. Now, I haven't talked to you guys on here about this yet, but I want your opinion on this, because I know we're down to the final 4 in our fandom that we've got to finish. We got.
Oh yeah, we need
get
to.
this
Yeah.
done. But since we're in the final four, what I was thinking is, what if instead of leaving it up to the three of us like we've done up to this point, we let the chat decide? We'll still argue our thoughts and opinions.
Oh,
I agree. I like it.
Okay, it gets interesting.
But we let the chat do, A or B, and we get it that way. Of course, leave it to Liz. Tuber Chat is a grower, not a shower.
I love it. I love it.
That's fantastic. Oh, hey, look, y'all. Nightbot's doing its job. Gotta appreciate when Nightbot actually works.
Oh, there we go.
That's the first time Kevin's heard that one. That's pretty good. Good job. All right. That is fantastic. So Jason, do you have that pulled up, or do you have something else you'd like to talk about first? Before you had a big week.
I did have a big week. I had a bunch of stuff going on. Well, it's still not solidified. I have a huge, when I say huge, it's such a massive hat order that's coming in, and as long as everything works out, next week, I think I'll have more information to share. But it's so big that it can be life changing. It's so big. It's such a big account. So I'm hesitant to throw it out yet until it actually is in the works. But I've already been making communication with a lot of my distributors and people. So I've made contact. I had a person who owns an actual distribution company of hats call me personally the other day, and we talked about like pricing. I think tomorrow my business license for my hometown headwear will be official. And so that's huge. And then, because honestly, guys, I didn't think this was going to be a big thing, and it's suddenly become something much bigger than I thought. And it may end up being a life-changing situation. I don't know. We actually had a buddy. It's such a big thing. It's so big, in fact, that I had a friend of mine reach out to me and offer me a building to have an alternate location.
Wow.
Whoa.
It could be big. It could be a lot bigger than what but here's the thing. Do hard things, try hard things, but it could be so big. And I don't want to talk it up and hype it up too much, but I do have some cool things happening tomorrow. In fact, the grand opening for Doug's Place in our town is happening. And listen, I reached out, did hard things. I reached out to him. I reached out to his daughter. I reached out to everybody that I might know, and had made some hats for Big Doug. And his daughter said, "Hey, why don't you just show up the grand opening with the hats?" So we're doing that tomorrow. I'm going to show up with these hats, present them to him, and say, "Hey, I'd like to be your merch guy for hats at least." So we're going to see. I'll let you guys know how that happens. But there's just a lot of stuff happening soon, and I don't know. I don't want to hype it up too much, but I'm super pumped about it. But it's ridiculously large how big this hat deal could be.
Are you taking the day off work tomorrow?
No, I'm not.
Well,
no, I am taking Thursday off because I'm doing headshots for Orthozone. Orthozone, I'm doing all their headshots and all that stuff. They want a sports photo shoot, kind of like tossing up teeth or tossing up whatever, just whatever type of dental stuff. And then I have 4 other offices that I'm shooting. So I have a lot of stuff going on. I have, as Trump says, so big, very big thing. Gonna be doing so many big things.
Well, I asked about you taking off because I noticed Big Doug's closes at 3 on Mondays. So that's why I looked, because I was like, it's Cinco de Mayo on their opening. Let's go eat there because it's their opening and it won't be quite as crowded because everybody here is going to be going to have Mexican. And so I looked, and Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
I was going to go tomorrow, but are you serious? 3 o'clock?
Wednesday, 7. They're open 7 to 3. They're open for breakfast every day, but they're only open for dinner Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So, yep. So that's why.
Well, that stinks.
Yeah. So
I planned on going after work tomorrow. So
yeah, I thought we would all go. We'll end up going to Mexican somewhere ourselves.
Tag on it.
Because
Tag on
Chad will want to do that for Cinco de Mayo. Liz has been absolutely killing it here with the puns of everything that Jason said about his big hat order, which is fantastic. And hey, our good buddy, one of the top hurdlings, Double A in the chat, throwing that out there. Nothing wrong with throwing hints and prayer requests at everything that's going on, Jason, without spilling the beans, because don't want to put it out into the universe there. But man, is that cool.
It's really cool. And then there's just other stuff in the works, but like my recent video on Epic Universe, it did okay. It's not been crazy. It's like almost to 500 views, but like one thing I have had is some messages that have come to me, like private messages that haven't been like through my comments, that have been like, there's been a lot of negative comments about the new park. There really has been. And after looking at all those and kind of just looking at, our time, and I'm about to drop episode 2. I may drop it tonight or tomorrow, but like my wife and I, we talked about it, and I know it's a soft opening, but there was a lot of things I didn't even think about. Like, and I don't know if we want to dig into this deep, but like, how do y'all feel about them doing early park access for pass holders, but then almost immediately opening it up to the general public that's staying at the hotels? How do you feel about that? Let's talk.
Well, my thought is they've always done early park admission for Universal hotel guests.
Yeah.
So I've got no issue with it. My issue, from what I've heard during technical,
but the fact that they sold it, though, Zach, they sold it as
okay, I see what you're saying. You're talking about the
to value our pass holders. We value you. We value you. That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying the preview days themselves, not the early park admission, but the ability to go right now.
No, not early park admission.
Okay.
They said that we're opening up for previews for pass holders, but as soon as they did that, within days, they opened it up to people staying at the resorts.
Now, here's my thought, because Jess and I did talk about this when it released. I don't like it at all. And the reason I don't like it is because it does devalue your pass holders. It does. You said it was preview days. You didn't say it was pass holder preview days. They didn't say that, but everybody assumed that because that's who got the options first. Now, what I will say, devil's advocate, this is their argument, and I understand. I understand it. The whole point of these technical previews is to see how the park handles crowds and handles the rush. And so they're varying crowd numbers each day, and they want to figure it out before the full opening at the end of May, when they're going to have the major crowds every single day throughout the summer. So I get it. I see why they did it, but no, it's not good for pass holders when you technically view it as that.
Yeah.
So Mike in the chat there, I put that down there. Mike's a scare actor at Sir Henry's. Wanted to throw that out there for Azkhalon there.
What's up?
If for those of y'all that watched my Sir Henry's videos, Mike was the mayor.
Okay,
And,
he was awesome. Mike's the legend, man.
Yeah,
Mike
is the man.
How did he sit so still in that box?
Right? That's what I said. Like he didn't move.
It was a long time. It was a long time that he was like, he took a nap, didn't he?
I think you could.
Here's the thing, Mike. If you took a nap and you just fell asleep, it would just follow the character, It
really would. Nobody would know except Mike.
No.
But yeah, Azkhalon, I spoke up there. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I agree with what all you said. And the thing is, they've been really good about, especially more so than Disney, doing stuff for their pass holders. And so, like, to do that, and everybody thought it was going to be one thing, and then it turns out it's another. Like, I'm just like, don't do that, because you don't want to alienate those who are pass holders, because we kept our annual passes for Universal longer than Disney because we felt like they were doing more for the pass holders than Disney was.
Yeah.
So
I still think they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they definitely do. They
do
definitely
better
do.
by
I agree.
Disney's
I do agree.
trying to start to do a few more things lately. Dixie has been telling me about, but it's like almost a little too late. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's few and far between too.
yeah,
what they're offering
and
compared to
they'll
what
they'll
Universal's
do stuff and then take it away and then bring it back like it's something new. Like we're giving you this now, and it's like you used to do that, so why did
I
you
know.
take it away?
What do you think about Zach? You guys are Volcano Bay people, right?
Yes, we love Volcano Bay. That for a long time, that was one of our favorite parts.
Have you seen where they're taking the Tapu Tapu?
Yeah,
taking
I think that's a
Tapu
huge
away?
mistake. Huge mistake.
Huge mistake.
Because so much marketing has gone into that and the lore of the park. And I know that's about as nerdy as you can get. Yes, there's lore of theme parks with Universal.
That's what we do here.
Yeah, I love that. I love the lore.
So,
that's one thing I love about Sir Henry's and watching your videos and stuff, and that they have all that lore behind it.
You've got the books behind it all that makes it so much deeper. But yeah, speaking of epic, did y'all? I know you guys saw. Did y'all see that video clip from Tim Tracker's live that I shared?
Oh yeah. That's you. Yeah.
I still was
Tim. Jesse's wife is in that live when they're there, and there's the performer, I guess the woman who's singing. Or there's he did Epic, but he also was back at I think he did something where he was at the last one that he did where he was at Diagon Alley. Jesse's wife and kids were at that little show where I forget the name of the singer that sings at Diagon Alley.
Yeah.
But like she was videoing him. And she was like, Jesse, your favorite guy's here. What do you want me to do? He's like, stop him so I can talk to him. But they're actually in his video in Diagon Alley. It was
that's funny. Because I mean, it caught me so off guard. When I saw that he was live there, Jess had gone to a friend's because our dryer was still broken. So she went to go dry the clothes. And so I was watching his live and I knew we had our DECA group was there. And so I just sent I sent a text to the teacher and said, hey, Tim Tracker's in the park doing a live right now. If y'all see him, let me know and I'll look for you guys to see if I see y'all in the background. So And when he's talking off camera and then spins it around and I see my kids, I'm popping up off the couch like, what the world?
Yeah.
So here you go, Jason. Danny, our super mod here in the chat asked how Super Mario Land was. That's
okay, so I'll give you
looking forward to the most.
I'll give you the good and the bad. Super Mario Land, it's going to be sensory overload when you walk out of the entrance and look. It's everything's moving. You're in the game, you're looking around, it's crazy town. And then you move around. It's like some of the rides were down. I mean, Park Preview, obviously things were down. I don't know how it's going to handle once you get 12,000 people into that park. And the reason I say is that one of the big things is like, I was thinking about like park flow, like when we're at Universal, at Islands of Adventure and Universal, the flow to get around the parks was pretty easy. What happens is there's a huge bottleneck when you go into these portals, you're there, right? So like, there's no like out to the in is the out. And so it's like, I don't know. I feel like you're going to love Nintendo World. You're gonna love that. I feel like it, but I will tell you that it's not as big as what I thought it was going to be. I feel like the Nintendo World wasn't as big. And then you've got the little Donkey Kong area over there, which is basically just the ride, a few drums, a little area where they're like, you can buy some merchandise or food. I felt like, I don't know. I do think it's amazing, but you could pretty much see all of that pretty quickly. I don't know. Like I'm kind of on the fence on it after I go back and watch my videos and everything, but I think it's amazing. It's beautiful. It's the theming is incredible, but I don't know. I think it's one of those areas that I want to see it at night. I didn't get to see it at night, so I want to see it at night, but I would say theming wise, it's a 10 out of 10. It's just not as large as I'd hoped it to be.
Yeah, because Did it first open in Japan or in California? Was it Japan?
Japan
Yeah, I
first.
saw I think Dashi, one of the gaming YouTubers, he went there and it seemed very small. Like everything seemed tight, but it seemed really awesome the way it looked, bright and colorful, and it's got all the, Nintendo stuff in it. But yeah, it did seem kind of small.
And hey, guys, Mike shouting out, Sir Henry's there. Just wait to see what's in store for Halloween, which is their main season. And again, hopefully this time I will make it to my first media night and I'll be able to film the trails on media night so y'all can see that. So since I know a lot of the folks in the chat are Florida folks, again, I cannot recommend y'all going and checking out Sir Henry's in Plant City enough.
Zach, we got to look at your setup too for Sir Henry's on your lighting and stuff. Like when you get your camera and get your lighting, like how that can be not so, like we got to figure out, like we need to talk about it. Like maybe come over here one night and we look at whatever you're going to have connected to your camera for that. And let me help you and let's figure out like,
I got to figure something out, especially when I'm walking through the trails and it's even darker. And I'm going to be able to film that. I want to make sure that comes out well.
But it also needs to be where it's not white light. It needs to be a warm light. And so that it's not like blowing everything out. But you and I need to get together for that. So you can come over here at night and let's play around with whatever setup you're going to use light wise. So we can see what is the best lighting. Cause I want that to be perfect.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
We'll get it worked out. But I was looking at your footage and I thought, well, this would be, we'll figure it out though, but I'm excited. Let's play around with it because there's some cheap options that we can get you into to where you could have a setup to where I think you could get a better footage for yourself. That I think it would be great. So let's play around with it a little bit.
Sounds good to me. Liz, please don't stop. It's very funny. You don't have to stop.
Yeah, that popped up on the screen and I was trying to laugh.
I love it. I love it.
While Jason was talking, I was trying to but I couldn't help it.
It's hard. It's hard. There you go. That's another one. Go ahead. How hard is it?
Hey, why does everybody assume that I'm buffering, by the way? Zach, why does everybody assume I'm buffering?
Yeah, you are buffering.
For the last few weeks, every now and then, you'll buffer a little bit.
Yeah, we can still hear you talk, but you're like frozen.
No. Dang it.
Which is weird since I'm the one with the janky setup and not you, and you're the one buffering.
How tonight's the first night y'all have told me I've buffered.
That's because it doesn't bother me in Azkhalon.
Yeah,
we just roll with you.
I do kind of chuckle a little bit.
I'm gonna get off my YouTube. That's probably why.
So look, Mike's saying orange or red light, and then yes, I've heard that, Mike, that I think they're going to let folks start filming facing forward instead of having the camera on themselves, which I think is going to help. Cool. Yeah, I think that's going to help me quite a bit too. Yeah. And yeah, hey, we're glad you were able to make it here too, Mike. Every Sunday at 7 p.m. when we're able to do this, we absolutely love getting together and talking to y'all and talking about all things nerdy. Next week, we're going to have I don't want to say it's a bigger show because nothing's going to change for us, but Chet, who goes on live before us, I think is going to do his live show from the cruise ship he's going to be on. So that'll be awesome to watch before we go live here, not on a cruise ship, but wishing we all were on a cruise ship. But there is, before we pull up the Final Four thing, there is one thing that I want to talk about. And I'm not going to say much because I don't want to give any spoilers whatsoever. We saw Thunderbolts yesterday.
Okay, yeah, I saw it today too. Yeah.
And Azkhalon went and saw Thunderbolts today. I'm putting out another little short, quick review video about it on Thursday of this week. I'll have that out. But here's what I need to say to everybody here about Thunderbolts. You need to see this movie.
Yeah.
It does not matter if you've never seen a Marvel movie before. It does not matter if you don't like superhero movies. This is a good movie, period. And the fact it released in May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, and the focus that it has on mental health and
a lot of stuff
how to
about
deal with it. Oh my gosh. Now I know I'm biased as a psychology teacher, but oh my gosh, is it a powerful film?
When I
It
was
is
watching it, I knew you would enjoy
huge.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I was so close to boo-hooing multiple times
And
in
I
that
love
theater.
when superhero movies do that, when they take some sort of real life concept like that. And it's like people are like, it's just a superhero film, but it's a lot deeper than that because they're exploring those types of issues and stuff like that. Like I really like that part
I mean, and
of
I'm
the
sure
movie.
that kind of stuff went right over the boys' heads. Maybe not Chad, but definitely Ty.
Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't matter because that's speaking right to me, as an adult and all these folks trying to find their purpose. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? That I'm just loving every second of it. So, Jason, go see it if you haven't made plans
I've
to.
not seen it. I know nothing about this film, by the
You
way.
don't even need to
You don't
know
need
anything.
to.
Just go see it. These are characters like I have been dying to see Fantastic Four. This was on my radar to see just as a Marvel movie, but I wouldn't even say it was in my top 10 of movies to see this year. But man, it might be my new favorite Marvel movie.
I was really impressed. It was kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy for me, like going into it. Like, unlike Guardians of the Galaxy, though, I was a little more familiar with these characters because they've been in, other movies for the most part, and stuff like that. But it was still like, I didn't really know what to expect. Like when you go see Spider-Man, or Avengers, you kind of got an idea what to expect, But this one, I was kind of like, I don't know really what to expect. And then going into it, like I was really impressed. Dixie thought it was just okay. She did like, the mental health parts of it, I think. But anything that's kind of more along the lines of like spy type stuff, which this one has some elements of that. Dixie usually doesn't, care for those a whole lot. But I really enjoyed it too, just like Zach did. Like I enjoyed it.
Jess knew zero characters going in outside of Bucky. Zero. Yeah. And she loved it. She thought it was a fantastic movie. I mean, that took somebody who is a very passive Marvel fan who sees these movies because we want to see these movies. And she wants to see these characters again. And that's what a good thing does. Mike down there asking, what do we think of people doing the ice bucket challenge again without knowing what it's truly for? Whenever these fads and trends go on social media, I think there's a good thing about it. Like I'm not against people doing the ice bucket challenge. I wasn't years ago. I did it. I haven't been challenged yet. Nobody challenged me. I don't want to do it.
I've been challenged. Oh,
Chad wants to do it. Challenge Chad. I'll pour water on this 60-pound nothing kid. But some people will look into it. Some people will, absolutely find out what it's for. Yeah. And it will bring some awareness to the cause, which is good. And hey, Ron snuck in here. Jason, your twin Ron is in the chat.
Hey,
I had to be nice to Ron all week, and it was the hardest thing ever because Ron is always like my go-to. I'm going to blame everything for Ron, and we're going to fight back and forth in all the chats. But like last week, Ron did a video, and I said something, and Jess was sitting there, and she was like, "You were too mean to Ron. You need to be nicer to Ron." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like this is Ron. That's how we communicate." So yeah, Jess got on to me. Here's Ron calling
Ron loves
Jess
it.
got on to me. And I was nice to Ron for a week, but the week is over now.
It's a new week.
Oh, look. So Danny D just subbed to you, Jason, so she can watch your video and sent a friend of hers your epic video. So that is awesome. Get some more views there. And yeah, before we move on, I always like to say it, if you are new here and haven't been to the Nerd Herd before, make sure you comment in the chat because we will sub to your channel and we will check out your content. That is something that we are very, very big on here is doing that. We want to be able to connect with y'all, and know everybody that shows up in our chats. So yeah, exactly, Ron. This is Ron. I gotta be me. So absolutely. All right. So Jason, are you ready?
Yes,
Can we
I guess.
Let's pull it. The tie.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I'm going to pull this up, but how long has it been since we put this up?
2 weeks at least.
Yeah, it's been
Oh
2
my
weeks because we
God.
didn't do it at all
May
last
have been
time.
3 weeks. We didn't do it at all last week. So we're in
No.
the final four. I remember that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna let the chat decide. We'll give our piece, but we'll
on
go
here. Let me
forward with whatever the chat says.
see. Present the file. Let's see. Do you see it?
Yep. Very funny, Ron. Look, it'd be cool to have a feature that posts links for y'all. Like Nightbot, I do have Nightbot. It's working. It's not entirely great, but it's working. All right. So we got on the left side of the bracket, or if we want to call it the west side, what west being left, east being right. I believe we were down to Harry Potter and Marvel.
Yeah.
And then on the right was Disney Animation and Star Wars.
Yes.
Whoo boy. All right. So which one of those do we want to start with?
I guess since it's on the left side, let's go with Marvel and Harry Potter.
Marvel and Harry Potter. All right.
Yeah, because for those of y'all who don't know, we switched Stranger Things, right?
Yeah, we broke up the Harry Potter Star Wars
and then
thing.
we moved Star Wars to the other side, I think.
Okay, yeah. So for those of y'all in the chat, here's what we'll do, and y'all can go ahead and comment on this. But you can type in Marvel or Harry Potter, or if you'd rather just type A for Marvel and B for Harry Potter, and we'll go with that. But all right, which one of you boys wants to start your argument? What do you got, Marvel or your Wizardary?
I'm gonna let y'all go first because I'm working on something really quick for us.
Ty ran in with him.
I swear that it's so tough for me because I don't know, it's tough because I'm such a huge Marvel fan, but I'm also a big Harry Potter fan. So because you look behind me, I have everything. I have a little bit of everything, little bit of everything. So, which will last the longest for me? I don't know. I feel like maybe I think I have to go with Harry Potter. Just because, and I know within the Marvel universe is all that, because I love. Yeah, I told you that, guys. This the coming of age thing. I love someone who didn't have powers, that were kind of weak, or just kind of someone who'd been picked on, and they come of age. Harry Potter does the same thing, so it kind of gives me the same feels as like a superhero coming of age, Harry Potter themed. But I don't know. I think I'm invested in Harry Potter so much more than I was with Marvel. I think because I don't know. I feel like I understand the Harry Potter universe more than I do all the different, because in Harry Potter you've got Harry Potter. It's Fantastic Beasts and Four Houses, Harry Potter. But the Marvel universe is massive. I don't understand everything about the Marvel universe, but with Harry Potter, I feel like I know so much more about it. I'm more invested. So for that reason alone, I'm going to go with Harry Potter.
Okay. And Azkhalon, you wanted me to go now?
Yeah, you go.
All right. So, Ty, what did you say?
Marvel.
Ty said Marvel. For once, in yelling in the background, I agree with Ty. And I say Marvel over Harry Potter. And to be fair, I chose against Harry Potter last time too. I like Harry Potter. I like Harry Potter a lot. I like the books. I like the movies. I don't know if I'm going to like this new TV show. I love the theme park lands. Marvel beats Harry Potter in every single one of those categories. The backlog of comics in Marvel, the MCU. Let's not talk about some of the TV shows, but again, the Harry Potter TV show, the Fantastic Beasts is not a plus for Harry Potter, in my opinion. I think that has brought Harry Potter down. But It's Marvel. It's the X-Men. It's Spider-Man. It's the Fantastic Four. It's all of these coming of age stories.
RDJ is Dr. Doom.
Yeah, RDJ is Dr. Doom. You know, we just saw Thunderbolts make grown people cry, and nobody knew who the Thunderbolts were before they announced the movie. Okay, so I think Marvel. Okay, Azkhalon.
All right. Yeah, I was working on some. I was trying to update the bracket really quickly. I was doing some quick edits. This one was tough for me because I love a lot of the superheroes in Marvel. I do, and I love Harry Potter too. Like, so you know, this Final Four is just like it's like it's like giving up one of my children if I had any children.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I love Harry Potter so much, and I think Zach knew this was coming. I gotta go with Harry Potter though over Marvel because I remember my friend Candace. I don't know if you remember Candace Bice in high school.
Yeah.
She's married now, so she's got different last names, so I felt okay saying her first and last name. She told me about the Harry Potter series. I think at the time the first 3 books were out when we were still in high school. Maybe the 4th one had come out too. And I remember reading the first page, the last page, and the middle page of Sorcerer's Stone because I was told, do that, and that'll help you decide if you want to purchase a book. And I was just like, this is childish. I don't want to read this. This is from the guy who read the Animorphs series, you know, pretty much a year before.
Hey, don't you hate on the Animorphs?
Oh, no, I'm not hating. I love the Animorphs. I used to write fan fiction about the Animorphs. So I had a crush on Rachel, you know, all that. But then I remember seeing the phenomenon of Harry Potter. One summer, I used to come up to the Huntsville area, which is currently where I live now, every summer because I had an aunt that lived here. And I remember when Goblet of Fire came out, we went to Books A Million for something, and seeing everybody there for the midnight release, it was just crazy. And I was like, maybe this book series is pretty good. I might need to give it a chance, but I didn't yet. And then the summer that Sorcerer's Stone came out, or I guess the summer after it had come out, my aunt, one of my sisters and myself, we were staying with my aunt, and I know this is a long story, y'all. I'm sorry, but it's irrelevant. And she had satellite DirecTV at the time, and one weekend all of the pay-per-view channels were available, like everything, even the bad stuff were available. And my sister and I sat there and we watched the Sorcerer's Stone movie, and that just started like my love for Harry Potter. I was like, this movie was pretty good. I went and read the 3rd and 4th book first because they were the only ones available at Walmart. My parents bought them for me. And then I went back and read the first 2. I checked them out at the library. And then as a graduation present for myself, I ordered Order of the Phoenix when it came out, because it came out the year that we graduated high school. And I love the series. I listen to it on audiobook all the time. I'm teaching Prisoner of Azkaban in my class. We just finished it up, and I love Marvel. I do, but just
my favorite
Harry Potter is just like, it's so incredible to me. Like, I love the way J.K. Rowling, especially starting with the 3rd book on up, the subplots and how everything ties together. Like, she gives you stuff in previous books too that may seem irrelevant at the time that pop up later. And I know Marvel's interconnected and everything too, but sorry, Ty, sorry, Zach. I gotta go with Harry Potter.
Yes!
It's impacted my life so much.
Well
much.
said. Well
Like,
said.
I
Here's
can't.
the beautiful thing, gentlemen. The fact that we're going with the chat and what the chat says, and the chat says Marvel. and so Marvel is moving on.
And I think the people who have not experienced Harry Potter, the books, and I'm speaking for the books outside of the movie.
That is fantastic.
What? Oh my goodness.
That is the greatest thing.
Oh my goodness.
Look,
I'm sorry. I want to know these people that are choosing Marvel.
Dumbledore would beat Vader in a fight.
These people that are choosing Marvel have probably never even read the Harry Potter book.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you experience the books, like if you just experience the Harry Potter movies, I could see you picking Marvel over Harry Potter.
Justin,
but the books add so much more that they have to unfortunately cut, and it's so tight. And even though it's children's books, it's very well written. Now, I wish the magic system was a little more complicated, but that's neither here nor there. I feel like a lot of people haven't read the books.
Star Wars with sticks.
If you didn't read the book, first of all, here's the thing, Zach. We gotta say before we jump off this, I'll do whatever you guys want to do. But of the people, you have to be honest. If you have read the books, not watched the movies, but if you have read the books and then you're choosing Marvel, I'll understand. But if you've not read the books, I don't know that you can honestly have a vote.
Look, Mike says I chose Marvel and I read all the books the day it came out. And I did too. G-Dad says, move on, boys. You lost.
Well, I think, to people who, I don't know.
Who cares about the Harry Potter books? Marvel comics are infinite.
Yeah, well, see, I'm not a huge comic person either, so that's really why.
All right, so here we go. Here's the other side of the bracket. We have Disney animation versus Star Wars. Is this other Final Four?
Oh man,
okay.
We knew this was going to happen.
We did. It was going to get ugly, and I will start here.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, go ahead.
and I don't know if I am going to go in the direction that you guys think I'm going to go into.
Okay, let's hear it.
It is May the 4th. Tomorrow's Revenge of the 5th. I grew up on Star Wars. I've read so many things with Star Wars. The lore behind Star Wars is so good. That being said, and personal feelings aside, I can't not choose Disney animation. As much as I love Star Wars and everything that Star Wars personally means to me, Disney animation has done so much for so many people worldwide.
Yeah.
Period. You go to Snow White and look at the impact of Snow White on film in general, not just animated film, but everything after that. And you see the driving force that Disney still is today. Okay. Hold on. I'm moving my screen here because apparently we've got a fourth member of the Nerd Herd tonight. He's decided to stick.
Hi, Ty, welcome.
So that's my thoughts. As much as I love Star Wars, and I love it a lot, and I'm very glad that it's part of Disney now, I have to cast my vote for Disney animation.
All right, Jason. I'm almost done with this. So is it possible for me to share the screen? Or do I need to send this to you, Zach? Or
if you put it down there, I can put it up.
So I guess Marvel won because of the chat, right?
Yes, Marvel moves on because of the chat, because we're letting the chat decide these tonight.
All right, so I need to put it where now?
Somehow Jason got it down here on the bottom of the screen. Did you hit present, Jason?
Present, yeah.
So
okay.
click present and put it there, and then I'll put it
maybe
up.
one of my.
He clicks on it. He'll click on it.
Okay, let's see. Screen sharing with 2 monitors. Oh, sorry, I'm reading the tips. All right, let me make this bigger. All right. Is it? Oh no, it's still got the other one on there.
Okay, hold on. I can switch it.
Okay, yeah. So that way we can kind of see it visually, because I kind of forget some stuff, and I think this is the way it went. I think The Simpsons beat Avatar, and then Star Wars beat The Simpsons. Okay. So yeah, so that way we have a visual.
That way everybody can see, everybody that's new can see what our choices were.
Disney animation beat Jurassic Park. That's just not right. That's not right.
Sorry.
I'm gonna make this really quick. As much as I love Star Wars, as much as I love Disney, which of these two, if I were on a deserted island, would I navigate towards? You know what I mean? So I would say, as much as it pains me, because I'm telling you guys that growing up, my mom used to drop me off at the theater because she knew the lady that ran the theater, and we would go upstairs, and I think I probably watched Return of the Jedi 100 times before it went off. You know what I mean? I watched it every weekend, Friday and Saturday, 2 and 3 times. My mom would drop. I think she babysat us, or my mom just dropped us off, and this lady felt sorry for us. I don't know, but as much as I can say that, I will also say that there is something about the magic of Disney that just can't be touched by Star Wars. So for that reason, and because it hits so many people, Star Wars is very specific, but I think Star Wars hits everybody. I'm gonna go with Disney animation.
All right, Azkhalon.
Oh, I'm gonna be our tiebreaker. Oh, wait, no, I'm not the tiebreaker. You went with Disney. I thought you were going with Star Wars.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta go with Disney too. Just, you know, and I love Star Wars, and when I got into Star Wars, you know, it consumed me. Like I mean, I was just consuming Star Wars material and everything, and I love lightsabers. But like I said before, with Disney, without Disney animation, I don't have one of my favorite places to go.
Yep.
On vacation with my wife, and, you know, even as kids with my family. I just Disney animation, just there's so much there. Like, even if you don't like some of the movies, you can find something that you enjoy, or one of their, you know, their shorter films, and, you know, various things like that. And the characters are just so memorable, and there's just so much more there than Star Wars. And yeah.
Well,
Now, if I was on a desert island, I would probably want to consume, you know, some Star Wars stuff. But I got to go with Disney. Like, I cannot go with that one.
We may be unanimous, but the chat is not.
Oh,
and the majority of the chat says Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we, the three of us, may have said, even if we added our votes with those in the chat that said Disney animation, we still lost. So
didn't Disney make Star Wars?
Disney owns Star Wars now, but
Yeah.
it did not start it. Star Wars it's separate.
The nerds really came out in full force with the Star Wars.
Yeah.
Right there.
And now you have exactly the reason why we broke this matchup up in the first round, because here it is in the no, it wasn't Marvel and Star Wars in the finals. It was
Harry Potter and Star Wars. But
what is this? Ed AA pulling out some basketball.
But still, we would have had Star Wars on that side though, and that left side was just crazy.
It was.
I agree on that, AA. That's 100% right. and Dustin, on his birthday, happy birthday, Dustin. Die on his Harry Potter. I think these two would as well.
Awesome.
But yes, Disney does own Marvel too, but that's why it was Disney animation, and so it would not fall fully into that category. So we come to two Disney properties here in the final. So Disney wins regardless with this. But
it's true.
You have Marvel versus Star Wars. I mean, these might be the two biggest nerd groups out there that aren't Trekkies, which weren't included on the board.
Yeah. So, like somebody's going to punch us.
They made it to the final.
Yeah. Why didn't the Simpsons win?
Why didn't the Simpsons did beat out Avatar?
Yeah.
But it couldn't. The Simpsons couldn't beat Star Wars.
And what sucks about this one is our final four, I had, you know, weeks to think about, and so I was prepared. Now Marvel versus Star Wars for the final, that was not what I had in mind.
This one is on it right now. So we got a choice, fellas, because it's 58. We're almost at an hour. We can hold this for the final for next week, and we can do this at the beginning when we will probably have 20, 25 people in the chat. Yeah. Or we can rock and roll right now. What do y'all want to do?
I say wait. Leave it in
Let's
suspense.
wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I say wait.
Let's wait.
Well, we can leave it in suspense. So we'll have Marvel versus Star Wars next week for the end. Even Danny in the chat says save it. So Nexus has said, since Nexus came in, Nexus has said Marvel beats everything.
Okay, so we got one Marvel vote already.
I agree with you. Uncle Dave says save it. Danny says save it. So yeah, we'll save it. Jason, I did want to ask you because last week, you know, we raffled off our prizes. And I found out today, I sent out all of my corksicles Friday afternoon. I took it to the package store after I got off school, and everybody got theirs today already. Like one had to go to Florida, one went right down the road, and then one went to Connecticut, and they all got them today. So thanks, FedEx. But I wanted to check with you, Jason. Did everybody that won a hat get in touch with you about it yet? Or
No, they did not. Nope.
All right. So if you're in the chat and you won a hat last week, that would be Liz and Chris. That would be Double A, Aaron Smith. And who was our other hat winner? Dixie. Dixie, who's not in the chat tonight, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know what she's doing.
But so y'all get in touch with Jason before he gets super busy.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I shared your email. Oh, that Double A says he's still debating the design.
Okay. So that's okay. Hey, listen, it's an open invite. So when it happens, it happens. You don't have any time on.
Jason, do you have somewhere like I know you have the Facebook
when you want
page.
It, I don't want you to rush it. Get something you want.
He's got his Facebook page and Instagram page.
Okay. Do you have a place where all of your previous designs are? Because Dixie's going to let me get the hat, of course. So I know some of your older designs, like, the Harry Potter ones with, kind of the brewery type stuff. And that was kind of what I was leaning towards. But I know I probably missed some of your designs. So I was wondering.
Well, I want you to get something. Why don't you come up with something original?
Okay.
And then I'll sell it after that.
I'll give you some ideas to use.
Jeff specifically said it's Dixie's hat, Raymond. So
well, she said I could pick it out. She doesn't wear hats really. She's not a hat person. I am. So
just will wear them at the beach, and that's about it.
Now I do have to say, Jason, I love trucker hats. They look cool. They do not look cool on me. Can you do fitted hats?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm probably going to get a fitted hat. And so I'll send you my size and everything. But yeah, I'll see what I can come up with. I was actually thinking about playing around with a Nerd Herd type logo or and even one, for Azkhalon as well. So I was going to maybe talk to you
what house are you again? Tell me what house you are again.
I'm Gryffindor.
Okay.
Hey, Scotty J, welcome in. Glad you could make it in here near the end.
We should do a Gryffindor themed, like Azkhalon.
Yeah. That would be cool. Except for my Azkhalon colors are green, though, green and black, because that stems from Xbox, because that's typically what I play on, and that's where that kind of came from. But yeah, it's like the only time I use green in something.
You got the red Sith going on behind you tonight.
Yeah, I do got red lights, and look, I haven't changed my marquee sign in 2 weeks since the last video I recorded. That shows you how much content I've been making recently.
Mike says, "Dad hats beat trucker hats." Double A asks, do you do boonie hats there, Jason?
Yes, I do.
Trucker and MLB hats make me look like I'm wearing a billboard. Me too, because I got a fat head. That's why I turn mine around backwards like Jason does. But hey, for those of y'all in the chat that are interested, again, hit up Jason on his Facebook page, on his Instagram page. Take a look at the Hometown Headwear hats that he's got. If you go back and look at some of my videos, like the Sir Henry's videos, and from my recent trip down there, I was wearing my Hometown Headwear Dallas, Georgia hat that Jason made for me. So they're awesome stuff that he does. Or you can check his channel out, because he's shown him do some laser engraving and making those hats there. But so I want to give you guys some time here at the end to leave some final thoughts for everybody before we take off for the week. So, Jason, I'm going to put you up first to get us started on the incredible note that you usually do.
Okay. I always tell you guys, doing hard things, trying hard things. So I'm going to double down, triple down, quadruple down on doing hard things. Make that hard call. Okay. Make that very tough decision. Do something that's uncomfortable. Have that conversation. Make that impossible goal. You need to fail. You need to learn. You need to try again. But again, you have to really say, I'm going to try those things that everyone else tells me is too hard, is too difficult. That's going to be too confusing. Why? Why? In the end, like doing the hard things, because that's the easy things will never get you where you want to be. So I always tell everybody the hard things, the heavy weight, the whatever, the long run is going to get you closer to your goal. The easy run's the mile. The hard run's the 8 miles. It's the 8 miles. It's maxing out when you know you can only do 2, but it's so heavy you can only do 2. So I don't know. Like I try to tell everybody it's those hard things that make the goal doable. So this week for me, it's reaching out to the owner of a company that's so big that they do 1 million hats a month. But guess what? I talked to him, and guess what? I told him, I said, I don't know everything, but it's okay. I don't need to know everything to know that my goal for what I want to do is no different than the goal that you have with your business. So help me get there. Don't worry about how ignorant I am of your process. Help me get there, and then we learn together, and then I become informed, and then I become a better business because of that situation. Help me grow. I'll get emotional thinking about it, but like I reached out huge this week, and I think it's going to pan out. You've got to do the same, and we all got to reach out big. There you go. That's all I got.
Oh, it's on me now. I didn't realize that. Yeah, you guys know Jason always drops that profound wisdom. It's always difficult to follow up with that because it's like, what else can I say? But what he said is right. But I wanted to try to this time. I wanted to focus on something a little different. And of course, I loved what Jason said. Yes, definitely do that. Summer's coming up. And it just made me think, about, I know some people, you may not be teachers, we get the summer off. But, I was just thinking like, take opportunities to go on vacation, to go to new places and see new things and just spend time with family. Cause, I've just been thinking lately, we all don't know, and I'm getting very serious here, but we all don't know how much time we have, on earth. And I just think, we spend so much time working, going to school, that we sometimes forget to enjoy life and enjoy some things. And, even if you may not have the funds to go like the Disney World or various things like that, just try to find time to do something that you enjoy. That just really helps. Like growing up, I never had any like anxiety or anything with my mental health, like, and I guess that's just part of being a kid for the most part. I wasn't worried about a whole lot of things, but ever since I became a teacher and, a coach, I have a lot on my plate. And, for the first time over the last few years, I started dealing with anxiety, and it's manifested in various physical symptoms even. And it's just like, now I understand. Like before, people would tell me about anxiety and mental health stuff, and I was like, suck it up, buttercup. I'm not that I was trying to be mean, but that was always like my mentality, like, suck it up, you can get through stuff. And now I understand, what it's like. And just, spending some time with people that you care about, doing fun things that you enjoy, like maybe creating a YouTube channel, anything that you can do, go on vacation. I feel like those things are necessary to, help reduce the anxiety and the stress stuff that you may be feeling, and to help you just, cope with, mental health things and various stuff like that. So yeah, take some time, enjoy the things that you love, even if it's just for a few minutes at a time each day, or you get to take a week off and go on trips. Just have some fun from time to time, because life can be crazy. And that's all I got.
All right. What I want to leave you guys with is something that I've been on my heart quite a bit this week, because I've been teaching on clinical psychology this week in my classes. It's just where I'm at. But I've also had 2 friends come to me within the past week that were dealing with a loss of some kind, both different situations, both dealing with different kinds of losses in their life. But it's all led me back to a mantra that I fully believe in, and I've said all the time. And it's vitally important, not just now because it's Mental Health Awareness Month, but all the time, to know and remember and that is that we weren't made to do life alone. None of us were, and this was even a theme in Thunderbolts that I saw yesterday. You have these people that are isolated, that feel like they should be isolated, and that's not the case. None of us were created to be by ourselves. So yes, try hard things, do hard things. Yes, get out of your comfort zone. Say yes. Do things you haven't done before. But more than anything, get with your people. I'm not saying, I'm not saying particular folks, but everybody needs somebody. And that's why I'm thankful for these two guys that are on this channel with me, that do this with me every week. I'm super thankful for everybody that's in our chat that joins us, because this is a community, and so if you are feeling something that's you're bottling up, you're keeping within you, go to somebody that you're comfortable with and talk to them about it, because there are a lot of things that are bigger than just us as individuals. We weren't made to be islands unto ourselves. We were made to interact. We were made to connect and to have impacts on each other's lives as a whole. So I'm gonna bring the guys back up here. So yeah, pretty deep stuff from the
I know, that was huge.
Leaving you guys out. Ty's probably like, forget that. Ty, you got any last things you want to say to the people?
Nothing beats Marvel. Azkhalon should have beat Disney. And
Did he say nothing beats Marvel?
Azkhalon should have beat Simpsons.
So Ty's going to throw everything else out the window and just let us know that next week Ty says Marvel is his vote. So we truly appreciate each and every one of you that joined us here in the chat. We'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel with the finals of the fandom. We hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we'll see you guys in the chats and things like that going forward.